Hey, kia ora. Helen Brahms here, coming to you live from Sun City in Arizona. Hope you're all having a super fantastic, sparkling start to Fun Friday. Yay! Woohoo! It's that day of the week where we concentrate on fun, even though every day of the week should involve some sort of fun. So what are some things you can do? Well, I was kind of like researching around to see, what suggestions do people have for people in the workplace, for family fun and all that sort of stuff. And one of them absolutely cracked me up. I thought, I am not going to... And my thought was, there was one idea, and I thought, there is no way, I would never win that competition. And the idea, it was a team building exercise in the office place. It's team building exercise in the office place. And it was, you all stand around in a circle and you stare at each other without smiling. Do you know how hard that would be for me? I would be probably like the first one out. I wouldn't even start. They'd say, okay, everybody stop smiling. I would be laughing. And I'll get everybody else laughing too. One of my favorite challenges to do is when someone, and I used to do this with the boys and with Brad and any other family member who decided they weren't going to smile. I would make them smile. It was my mission at that point in time to do whatever I could to make them smile. I would pester the crap out of them, and I really would. And Brad would sit there and he'd be like, not gonna, and you could tell he was trying so hard not to smile, but you just found that little bit of an opening, and you just plowed in through that opening, and it didn't take. And for me, it would be a challenge on how quickly can I make somebody smile. So yeah, I would pull funny faces in front of them. I would tell jokes. Not that my jokes are great anyway, but some of them are really corny. And then I'd talk about how the corner of their mouth was starting to twitch up into a smile. And you better be careful, it might just break through. But that was my thing. It was how to make somebody smile. It was bringing a joy into somebody's life, because you don't know what's going on in anybody's life. But when I'm out walking, if I'm out walking, running errands or whatever, my goal is to spread as much sunshine, sparkles as I can in other people's lives. Sunshine and sparkles. And if you catch somebody's eye, I always use, especially around the campground here, around the resort. In fact, I get so used to doing it at the resort, I've started doing it when I'm out in public. So around the resort, when I'm out walking Zeffy, every time I see somebody, it's like, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever the time of the day is, give them a smile and a wave if they're sitting on their porches. If they're out walking or driving by, it's always a wave and a smile from people who are driving by. Always a good morning and a smile to people who are walking, who you're passing or are passing you as you're out walking the dog. And so I've gotten so used to doing it on the resort. When I got up, like I was about to go and get my mail. So I thought, and I'm like sitting here and I'm like getting ready to go get the mail. And I'm like, something's not quite right this morning. What is not right? And I had to go through the list of all the stuff I've done so far this morning. And I was like, oh, I haven't done my live. How could I forget that one? So I had to quickly jump on. But when I go and get the mail, I'm going to be from the car into the UPS store. Even in the UPS store, I say hello to all the people behind the counter. And if anybody's standing in line, it's like, good morning, and give them a smile. And if anybody happens to ask me how I am, super fantastic and sparkling. Thank you. How are you? With a smile. And it's always genuine. It's always heartfelt, because you never know what's going on in somebody's life. And that smile that you give them could be the only bright spot in their day, but it could also be in their day so far, and it helps turn their day around. So go out, spread sunshine and sparkles and smiles, and say hello to complete strangers today as you're out walking. Give them a smile and a hello. And yes, I even started, where was I the other day? We were out somewhere the other day, and a car goes past, and I went to raise my hand to wave them. I'm like, hang on, I'm not on the resort. So you start developing habits in the resort, and then you try to take them out into the public, into the world. It's a very interesting. And I started waving at drivers as I was driving past. Driving down the street there, I'm just waving at people and smiling. What the heck? Spread some sparkle into somebody's day. Sorry, I don't know what I'm on this morning. And all I've had so far is my hot cocoa. I haven't even had breakfast yet. So, yes, that was meant to be straight after this. But now I've got to go get the mail. So I'll come back and then have breakfast. Yeah. Anyway, So yes, so spread that. So try not. So see how many people go out today. Make a game of it. How many people, if you smile and say, if you say hello and smile at them, how many people respond out of the ones that, and do they respond back with a smile, or they just go hello or hi or just like nod or be all serious and just go out and have fun. Have fun today. Find somewhere to have fun. Throw some music on. Have a dance party. When I get back, I've already done some work this morning, but I did it with a smile on my face. It's like, okay, here's my list of what I need to do for this particular client. How quickly can I get through? And it was all little short tasks. It's like, how many can I get done before I get on the training call? And it was like working through it, because she sends me all these emails. So I just have my email is the email is the to-do list. And it's like start at the bottom, work our way up. How many of those can I get completed before I have to get on the training call? And I got most of them done. So I was making a game out of it. And every time one was finished, it was like, yay, next one. And then get that done. So I'm just sort of like in this fun mood today where I don't go into competition with other people. I always go in competition with myself. Can I get through it? How quickly can I get through this list? And or how quickly can I do this? How can I do this? How long is it going to take me to get this done? So I'm always in competition with myself. Can I get this done before a certain time? Let's go for it. I've got to turn my diffuser off or I'll forget and come back. I'll have a flat battery. I don't even know where that went. But make games out of everything today. Anything you do, make a game out of it. I had to proofread this the other day. How many errors can I find this time? And challenge yourself. How many errors can I find this time? If you're in a competition with other people, and I know some people prefer to be in competition, like for who can get the most of this or the most of that, or who can get this done the quickest, et cetera, et cetera. That's fine. I prefer to have a competition with myself to improve myself. So I make games out of it. But that's basically what it is. Go out, have fun today. Pack a picnic lunch and go for a picnic on a Friday instead of a weekend. Go and have a picnic for lunch today, or maybe for dinner this evening. It might be by candlelight. You get those really cool candles that are battery operated. So rather than having open flames around, you can have these really cool battery operated candles that will even flicker like they're candles, like they've got a real flame in them. They're really cool. I wrote about them this morning when I was doing my musics. Yes, that was a very interesting bit so I actually started writing a piece for one of my books in one of my book series. That is still getting worked on. I know it's taking forever. But the cool part is that I started working and I was like, oh, how could I do this? The brain was going, how can I do this? Oh, I know. We'll just do this, 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 and this. And one of the items was a battery operated candle for sitting on a table. And these were like elegant looking candles. And as you sat down at the table, the hostess would switch the candle on. So the waiter would then know, or the wait staff would then know that they now have a new table. So the battery operated candles go. So if you're going to go out for a picnic this evening and it's dark, get some of these battery operated candles and stick them on the blanket or something, or at the picnic table, and then now you can have dinner by candlelight. Fun things like that. What else could we do today? I'll just go for walks and say hi to people and say smile. Make a game, make it a family game. You've got kids going out there. Kids will walk up to anybody and say hi. I was at the dog park. The first time I was at one of the dog parks, I was there and Zeffy's busy running around. This little girl lets herself out of the small dog park, comes into the big dog park and comes over to me and goes, hi, can I play with your dog? I'm like, if it is okay. I said, who's the adult that's with you? Do you have a parent or a grandparent or somebody with you? Yes. Well, you have to ask their permission first. Oh, it's okay. I do this all the time. I said, no. I said, I want to make sure that you have permission from whoever is here with you, that you have permission to play with my dog. And she was a little upset, but I have a boundary. Kids are not allowed to touch Zeffy unless the adult that is present gives their permission. Because Zeffy can be a little boisterous at times, especially around kids. So I have to keep a tight rein on her because I don't want her jumping on a kid and pushing it over and the kid getting hurt. And so I always want to make sure that whatever parental figure is around, or adult that is around that's minding the children, that they first see my dog, they get to know, they meet my dog, then they can turn around and say whether or not the kids are allowed to touch the dog. So that's just me and this little, and kids, like I said, kids will come up to anybody and say hi. That just happened in a dog park. And I was uncomfortable about this kid just wandering around between dog parks, because there could have been bigger dogs in there that could have bowled them over and they could have gotten hurt. And I think it was a grandparent they were with, was over on the far side in the small dog park area, talking with a whole bunch of other people, not even paying attention to the dog or his granddaughter. And she's just wandering around between the different parks. So, but if you're going to go out, so watch your kids. They will say hi to anybody. And we suddenly got serious. Okay, back to the fun stuff. So go out, have fun today. Make it a game. Make things a game. See how much work you can get done today. It's Friday. How much of the stuff that is sitting on your desk can you clear off today before quitting time today? My quitting time's 5 o'clock. I've got a list of things to do. So my first thing is to go get my mail. And as soon as I get back from that, I know there's a couple of surprise packages there for me. So I really, really, really want to go get them and open them. And I have a really cool one coming on. I think it's Tuesday they've got for the delivery date. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. I stumbled across this really cool concept. So I've ordered the first, and it sounded really cool. I thought, well, let me order one to see how it goes, and then I might do a subscription. So, and there's a new box comes every 30 days. And so the first one arrives on Tuesday. So I'm eager to open it and find out what's inside, what's it like. Yeah, that's going to be fun. But no more about that until Tuesday, because that's going to be the day when I actually get it and I can actually open it, see it, look around it, and all of that sort of stuff. So you'll have to wait on that one. And then it'll probably be Friday before I pick it up anyway. Actually, I can't do that. I can't do that on Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, because I'm going to be at the Leverage Conference. Yes, the Leverage Conference. You guys have to come to the Leverage Conference. We had Deborah Thorne, who is the information diva and the organizer and owner and founder of the Leverage Conference. She was on our evening. What day? It was a Tuesday. I think it was Tuesday last week. Yes, it was Tuesday, November 2nd. So show number 825. So if you look for day 825, for the part 2, that's when we had Deborah Thorne on the Information Diva. So please go watch that video. She is an incredible, incredible human being. And this conference is going to be awesome. So I've got to figure out my mail pickup time next week, since I'm not going to be able to go on my usual Friday or Saturday time slot, since I'm going to be at the Leverage Conference Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Anyway, I got to go. I got to get out of here. It's time to get going. It's time to get this continue this amazing, super fantastic sparkling day. So go out, have a super fantastic sparkling. Oh, question. Story of the day. Which relative did you enjoy visiting the most because you always had fun with them? So which relative did you enjoy visiting as a kid? Which relative did you enjoy visiting the most because you always had fun with them? And I'm like sitting there and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I've got all my aunts and uncles who are really cool. My grandparents were really cool, especially granddad with his stories. I love granddad's stories. And then, of course, when we went to visit grandma and granddad, the cousins came over. So we had time with the cousins and the aunts and uncles and that. And I remember it was at my grandparents' place, my dad's parents' place, where I learned to play chess. They taught me to play chess there. They taught me different card games. And we always used to sit around and play cards and or play chess and that sort of thing. So it was a lot of fun going there. And then granddad would tell his stories. And so I always had fun at my paternal grandparents' place because of the fact that we would sit there and the cards would come out. We'd play 500, we'd play euchre, play last card. Those were some of the games that we'd play. And then there was, I got taught to play chess there. What else did we do? Oh, I used to go and help my grandmother in the kitchen with baking. She's the one that taught me to crack 2 eggs at once. So, you put the hands in there, crack them, pull them open. So she taught me to crack 2 eggs at once, and I can still do it. Yes, and without without the shell dropping into the eggs, so I can still do that. But yeah, I learned a lot at my grandparents' place at that, and we had a lot of fun. And then at my other grandparents' place, they had a foster child there who became a very good friend over the years, and almost like a sister. And yeah, probably would have called her sister. And so we used to have fun together. I mean, we used to go on midnight raids at the kitchen, and it was. I mean, at the time, our hearts were like boom, 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 and you could hear your own heartbeat, and you're like, I'm making too much noise. And then we had figured out how to get across the sunroom and down the stairs without making them creak. We learned all the squeaky spots on the floor, and we would go down and we would go through the laundry area, through the toilet area, and through the bathroom into the back door into the kitchen. And we're always keeping an eye out when I was keeping an eye out through the window in the kitchen to where the stairs come down, because they had a house and they built this additional area on with a 2-story garage and all that sort of thing. And they still had the original windows there from the kitchen that would look through to where the front door, where the door was, and all that sort of stuff. And so one of us would be lookout with the other one would go raid the pantry. Not so much the refrigerator, because that was out in the other room, and that was a little noisy. And then we'd take our stash. With our stash, had to creep back up the stairs again. And yeah, so there's lots of fun that you would have at places, and talking for all hours with your cousin when you're having sleepovers and things. And so yeah, we had a lot of fun with relatives. I love visiting relatives because we always had fun. There was always games being played. There were those midnight talks, those midnight raids. It was just a fun time. It was just so much fun to go visiting family and relatives. So, yeah, I enjoyed visiting all I can't think of anywhere it was sort of like really boring, whereas it was ever boring going, why are we here? Can I leave? Do we really have to go there? No, when it came to going and visiting family, it was like, yay, we get to go visit whoever we're going to go visit that day. And we always had fun. So, did you have a lot of relatives that you would go visit and have fun with them all? Were there some that you liked going to visit more than others? Talk about visiting family and other family members and stuff. Was it fun? Anyway, I'm out of here. Have a super fantastic, sparkling rest of your fun Friday, and we'll catch you guys back here at 6 p.m. Mountain Time this evening. Hey, konera.